well possible in Russia to have a transparent system of doing business, that'll be okay.
What do you mean?
You have to have same rules for everyone. And you have to, a system, what we have now, I think, is we have two competing systems. One is closed only for those who are in the system, and the second is for all others.
I think we're talking corruption.
Right. I mean, it's not only the problem of corruption, that's the problem of the so-called mentality or culture or whatever. Because same happened in Russia in the Tsarist period. That's completely the same.
Exemptions from the rule.
Sure.
Is there a risk here that young people are really focused on themselves too much? I mean, nobody's mentioned, I'm worried about my parents, I'm worried about the older people, the pensioners across Russia, the people that live in small towns. The success in Moscow is certainly not the success of Russia. I mean, it's not equal, is it, Dmitry?
You have the right point here. I think that we are to have this gap, closed between Moscow, St. Petersburg, and other regions of Russia. But first of all, I think that everyone should begin from himself, from him or herself. And that's necessary for us to have a good education, to begin our career, and then to have new, broader plans. And as for me, I would like to work in space diplomacy, and maybe someday to fly to space and give my life to these special technologies of space.
Speaking of space, Maria, how worried are young Russians that they can't buy a space in Moscow to live in? It's just too expensive.
It's a problem for everybody, for young people especially, because normally young people have the problem, when you take a credit, first you have to pay more and then it decreases. And when you are young, you have the salary is lower and then it increases, so it goes in opposite direction. So for young people, it's a great problem.
Take a loan from the bank.
Yes, to take.
How much does an apartment cost that you would like to have?
I think a meter costs like.
No, they just talk to me about a whole 2-bedroom apartment for a young family.
$500,000.
$500,000.
$500,000?
Yes.
You know, they had a business survey that something like 1 in 5 Western businessmen thought that the leading export from Russia was vodka. I mean, can you believe that? I mean, well, there's a misconception for you, but what do you think are the misconceptions?
I think they more think of the Soviet Union being a little bit changed, but still staying Soviet. That is not true. We have no communists, we have no Soviet fundamentals. It's a new country. And the second thing I'm worried very much about is that people are afraid of Russia. Afraid of Russia being a big, huge bear, trying to get all Europe, to grab all former Soviet countries and being the main country in the world. That's not true.
Okay. Maria?
I think that the main misconception is the idea that is it possible to influence Russia from the outside when you speak about human rights or democracy, and it's not possible. It creates the opposite reaction when the opposite words say something to Russia.
So the West should lay off?
Yes, I would say that. That's for better, because it always creates the opposite reaction when the West says it's important to care about human rights. And Russia, everybody thinks that we don't have to care about human rights. I don't know why it's this feeling and this, but just Russia is to be a democratic country, but it has to do its own way, not because it is told. And there is a strong feeling of independence that Russia has to feel. I think that many people share it in Russia.
Dmitry?
Russia is very often shown as a very great country. I lived in European countries and seen it. But I think that the main misconception is that we cannot be good allies, partners, or friends. We can be.
Olga?
Well, I think one of the misconceptions about Russian women, the stereotype is they are beautiful, they can make they can make great wives. That's true, right? But if you go abroad, you meet somebody and you say, yes, I'm Russian, and men go, Russian. We're not easy targets. We're not all gold diggers. We're not marrying for money or doing things for money. And because Russian women are now very career-minded, and it's just not true that Russian women want to marry no matter who, if he has money and he lives in Turkey.
All right. Dimitri, Olga, Peter, Maria, thank you very much.
Thank you.